WJZ-TV, Baltimore. This is Rise and Shine with Don Scott and Marty Bass.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ron Mackey joining us here on the set of studio. I see you this morning. The more some things change, the more some things never change.
I take a week and a half off, you paint the floor.
Yeah, you sure honestly did. Here's the deal, okay? We may be part of CBS now, but by God, it's still 5:30 in the morning. Okay?
It is indeed.
So like I said, the more some things change, the more some things still stay the same. Let me get this log out of my pocket. Sure. Welcome home, buddy.
Thank you.
How are you today?
I'm fine. I'm here. I'm back.
And a happy, healthy New Year to all of y'all. Yeah. It is still a holiday, so for us who are up and at it right now, woe be us. Why are we not asleep? What is the problem here? Okay.
It's a Monday.
It is, but see, look, it's January. Look, let's get down to the bottom line here. We have now scammed another day.
CBS Channel 13.
It's now official. We had to get the ID, and that's the official voice of CBS on this show.
Earl.
The singing painter, Earl Bozeman. Absolutely, 100% correct.
I like that.
He was here on Friday and wished you and yours a happy New Year.
Same back to you, Earl.
Or as he said, Happy New Year to you, Don Scott. Yeah. All right. Hey, listen, here's the deal. It's the second day of the year, and we've managed to scam another day off from everybody. Oh, yeah, we sure have. So it's the end of a three-day weekend. Let's take a look at the weather. We've had some, we're going to look at our Doppler radar out of Sterling, Virginia here in just a little while. Had some shower activity in the area during the overnight. And this is going to herald in winter here into this area. Take a look at your forecast of the day. 42 right now. We're going to go for a high of 44 today. We're going to watch for some clearing throughout the day. We'll keep that chance of a shower in the forecast for the next couple of hours. Honestly, the only lingering shower activity in the region is northeast up 95. We'll have a high today of 44 degrees. We're at 42 now. We'll hit that 44 here before not too long this afternoon. Temperatures will start to slide a little bit. Windy, that's got to be a real headline today. Clear skies tonight, it's going to get flat out chilly. Overnight range of temperatures, 18 to 25 for conversation, call it 22. Tomorrow, partly sunny skies. It's going to be a cold day, 4 degrees below what it normally should be for the 3rd of January, with a high of 37 degrees. No kidding. Winter's coming in this week big time. The hawk's going to fly. We'll look at overnight lows this week like in the teens. You understand? Like Wednesday morning when we're doing the same app at this time, these temperatures are all for the most 20 degrees colder. No, Ann's is 20, 25 degrees colder in some locations. I tell you what, winter's here, it's new year, it's new day, it's new network. And I'm going to go drink some coffee. Some things, like we said, even though they change, will never. Don, take it away, Dad.
Thank you. Coming up on 5:33, here's what's happening news-wise this morning. A New Year's morning crash involving a city police car claimed the life of a Catonsville woman and seriously injured her younger sister. 18-year-old Valerie Taylor was killed after a patrol car rammed into their car at an intersection near Johns Hopkins Hospital. The accident happened around 2:30 in the morning as Officer Keith DeVoe was responding to a call for a backup. Taylor's sister, 12-year-old Lori, was taken to Johns Hopkins, where at last report she was still in serious condition. A driver in a third car, which was hit by the Taylors, was taken to Church Hospital with leg injuries. The state's attorney's office will investigate to see if any charges will be filed against Officer DeVoe. A woman wanted for questioning in a murder case in Annapolis has turned herself into police. 31-year-old Rebecca Hall told police she destroyed evidence and helped dispose of the body of Susan McAteer. McAteer was found stabbed to death last week. Richard Janey has already been charged with McAteer's murder. Hall has been charged as an accessory to that killing. New Year's Day 1995 will be forever remembered as a historic one for a Baltimore church. The congregation of the Huber Memorial Church of Christ began their New Year services by saying goodbye to their old church. The church at 2840 the Alameda had been home to the congregation for more than 100 years, and after a tearful farewell, a motorcade took members of the congregation to Huber Memorial's new home in the 5700 block of York Road. As worshipers made their way inside their new home, the celebration began.
When you feel it's God's will, it's not difficult at all. You know, you have the memories, but you also have the hope for the future.
How does it feel right now to be in here?
Exciting, exciting, exciting.
The church will take advantage of its new space to open up a Christian school and daycare center later this year. If you mail any letters today, you had better make sure you have the correct postage. The cost of a first-class stamp went up yesterday from 29 to 32 cents. You can buy the new 32-cent stamp, or if you still have some 29-centers left over, the post office has 3-cent stamps you can purchase. One other reminder, this is a holiday, so there is no mail delivery today. And turning to sports, it appears Nebraska has the national championship all locked up. Last night, the Cornhuskers put the squeeze on Miami in the Orange Bowl and ended a long drought for Nebraska coach Tom Osborne. The unbeaten Cornhuskers rallied to beat number 3 Miami 24-17 behind the fourth quarter leadership of quarterback Tommy Frazier. Frazier, playing for the first time since being sidelined with blood clots in late September, guided the Cornhuskers to 2 touchdowns by Corey Schlesinger in the final 8 minutes. The final Associated Press poll won't be released until Tuesday, but even if second-ranked Penn State beats Oregon in the Rose Bowl today, Nebraska seems certain to finish number 1. There was also some NFL action yesterday as the early rounds of the playoffs continued. In the early game, the Cleveland Browns beat the New England Patriots, and in the late game, it was an upset in the making as the Minnesota Vikings took on the Bears. With your Rise and Shine Sports Wrap, Chris Ely.
Good morning, everybody. In NFL yesterday, the Vikings had played the Bears 6 times under Dennis Green, inside, outside, inside domes, outside in the air, at night, during the day. And never during that time had the Bears ever beaten the Vikings under Dennis Green. It all changed yesterday in one of the most important games in those two teams' history in this season. It was the playoffs, the wild card, the Bears at the Vikings, where it was a huge football game in the National Football League. Second quarter, 7-3 Bears. Steve Walsh, play action, rolls out, hits tight end Keith Jennings. Bears in the lead 14-3. But Minnesota comes back late in the half. Warren Moon will pitch the pass to Chris Carter in the corner of the end zone. Carter brings it down. The Vikings missed the 2-point conversion, trail at the half 14-9. But the Bears were piling on points from there. Raymond Harris takes the handoff, breaking tackles, getting into the clear, rumbling 29 yards for the score. That made it 21-9 in favor of Chicago. The Bears went on to beat the Vikings 35-18 to advance to the second round of the playoffs. That's it for me for this morning. Please join John Buren and the rest of the CBS Eyewitness News team at 5 o'clock for more on Today in Sports. For now, this is Chris Ely sending it back to Don's Gangster of Love and the Bassarino back together again.
Hey now, Chris Ely, thank you very much. All right.
And have we did lately, this is CBS.
Oh, we'll drive that point home ad nauseum. This will be worse than a good song on a rock station. At about the 450th time, I think it'll sink in. I still think to this day, you all really need to get the scene of what's happening in here today. Swing that camera around a second. You should get to see. We got them a HIF here from CBS. I mean, they're northeast. Don't run, pal. We'll chase you down this building. We got this guy here. There he is right there in the blue shirt right there. That's Willie Hill. Oh, and then over here on the left, on the left is one of our own Mahifs, the Honorable Fred Thomas. Yes. Fred hadn't been up since 5:30 in the morning since the last night he pulled an all-night bender.
No to all his fine job.
Yes, there he is, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, so I mean, and it's like, you know, we've got our assistant news director, assistant chief engineer here. Yep. Okay, I mean, it's like there haven't been this many department heads in this building since the fire alarms went off and we couldn't get the security code in to stop them last time. I mean, it's just truly amazing.
Also, they left the heat on, too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's a little bit. Well, the only reason it's warm in here is because of all the department heads. A lot of hot air in this building right now, Scott. A lot of hot air in this building right now. Here's the deal. I am convinced you people are going to figure this deal out by tonight. Yep. First time you go surf and look for your show, you're going to figure it out, whether it's NBC, ABC, Fox, or CBS. But, move your arm for a second. But, just in case you haven't, okay, just remember, call 1-800-WATCH 13. Okay? I don't care what show you're looking for. Doesn't matter what network it belongs to, what station it's to, okay? It's just this easy. Call 1-800-WATCH 13. And when all else fails, get your newspaper and look in the television section. This ain't brain surgery. Thank you very much. Round of applause for Mr. Bass. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you.
I like our graphic. That's a nice graphic.
Isn't it, though?
I remember wearing that one, I think.
Buddy, we are busting the budget on this deal this morning. All right.
And we promised to take the cards down, I guess. I'm not sure if this is a faux pas or not, to have it after January 1.
No, man, there's no more January 1. This year it's January 2nd. Look, half the world's got this down. There's no school lunch menus. Yep. People working retail and us are the only people working today. This is technically a national holiday today. Okay. So we're not going to worry about the deal at all.
Take the time to take those down.
Yeah, we'll do it tomorrow. 42 now. We go for a high of 44 today. Big headline, though, has got to be how chilly it's going to get a little bit later on, how cold it's going to be this week. We'll give you the accurate 5-day forecast.
Yep, sure. 5:40. Last night's. We do the lottery numbers here? Yes, we do. Okay.
No, what we do is I say, coming up this morning's, what do you think?
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
And I wish I could remember what it was.
I was trying to bail you out.
I did it. No, I know. I did it. Oh, hey. hey, the more some things change, the more some things always stay the same. We got a new postal rate today.
Just did the story.
Yeah, well, we'll be talking about that. Stay with us.
Okay, now I do the lottery numbers, if I remember correctly. Last night's Maryland Daily numbers, pick 3 was 952, pick 4 was 9401. Last night's Maryland Match 5, 15, 16, 21, 33, and 38. And there was no winner in this weekend's lotto drawing, so that means Wednesday's potential winnings rise to 6 million even. Here are the 6 you should have had on Saturday, though. 3, 16, 17, 26, 41, and 42. Don't go away. We're coming back with more of the program, ever so thoughtfully entitled, Rise and Shine.
This is CBS Channel 13.
All right.
It is 5:42, 18 and a half before 6 o'clock.
42 now, 44 is going to be the high for today. 32-cent stamps now. Take a look at this morning's What Do You Think question. Hey, 32 cents a deal. That, by the way, is the official issue, temporary stamp of the United States Postal Service.
That'll get your letter about as far as you can throw. Twice as slow.
Unbelievable. You know, but I'm going to tell you the truth, and you're going to hear this. You're going to hear this from all the people. We make such a big deal out of this. Okay, now granted, to a business that sends 43 million pieces of mail a year, fine. That ain't me, that ain't you, it ain't them. Okay? You pay bills. And a 32 cent is still cheaper than a phone call. That's a minute and a half rent, by the way.
Okay.
Okay, a minute and a half on any 1-800 long distance service. Send an overnight letter, $16. It's still a deal. But we carry this over from our parents. By gosh, I remember when stamps were 8 cents. Yeah, I remember when you had brown hair. Okay, you know, things change. But it's the truth.
Oh, it is true.
I'm
trying to remember back.
Are you so bent out of shape you're never going to send another letter?
No.
Right, thank you.
I never get upset about it. I'm trying to remember the cheapest stamp I remember, and I can't think of it.
Neither can I.
Yeah.
That was when I had hair.
Yeah. My grandmother used to refer to a penny postcard.
Yeah. Here's this morning's What Do You Think? Check it out. No big deal.
It's fine. If you consider how quickly the Postal Service works, how much work is entailed.
Say go girl again. Go ahead.
33 cents to send a letter from here to California. And all the manpower involved, woman power involved, it's a lot of work. Go for it, Postal Service.
Is it really such a big deal? Is 32 cents to send something somewhere still a deal?
I think so. When you think about the mail, you have millions of letters that do get there every single day. And, you know, only a small percentage don't make it.
So as opposed to sending an overnight package or whatever, 32 cents for a couple of days later, still no problem.
No problem to me.
I just had one lady say she thinks it really is a bargain that for 32 cents you can send something a few thousand miles away to the West Coast. You agree with her?
True, for 32 cents, yeah.
Do people make too much of this, like, rate increase? All things considered, still a deal?
I think it is. I think it is.
Well, give them all a big round of applause and thank you for joining us this day. We certainly do appreciate it.
I was
no
at the
big deal.
post office on Friday, I guess.
Yeah.
And they ran out of the new 3-cent stamp.
Okay.
When I was about halfway through the line. They had a courier there real quick to get them, but there were some grumblings when you couldn't buy the little
Why'd you
stamp.
wait till the last minute? Like I did. Everybody else
Well, I was
did
actually
too.
there to mail a package, so I didn't want 3-cent stamps. But.
Well, anyway, it's just, you know, it will be a major story if nothing else happens today. Other than that, it belongs on page 18 where it belongs.
Well, tomorrow, I guess, because the post offices aren't open today.
What is? I love how we have scammed this day. Usually January 2nd, you'd be in school shop, teacher in your face. All right, buckle down, get down to work now. You know, it's the second. You know, we have turned this into a deal here. And you know why? Thank the NFL. They weren't about to give up their Sunday for the bowl games.
Sure.
Why do you think we're running the Cotton Bowl today?
Or the Rose Bowl.
Or because there was pro yesterday. So anyway, we'll deal with it tomorrow on the first day of work, and it's no big deal, as you heard. That is this morning's What Do You Think? And we thank you for your support.
Okay, 5:46 coming up on More Witness News. Some brisk bears out in Boulder. I'm not sure it was very brisk in Boulder, but we'll see.
The 3 B's and Owen and I.
Yep.
Oh, there you go. All right. There's going to be some brisk temperatures in this area. Not right now, though. Actually, it's very mild. It's 42 degrees right now. This is warmer than it's going to be any day this week. The weather for your first week of 1995, extremely cold. We'll give you the AccuWeather 5 days shortly. We'll look at radar here in a whole 9 yards. Chuck Whitaker joins us with his traffic. No school lunch menus this day, so we'll throw it to the break. Please stay with us. We are live from Television Hill overlooking the beautiful Jones Falls Valley. This is Grip W Broadcasting, a CBS affiliate. This is Rise and Shine. Stay with us.
Coming up on 10 before 6, how's Monday morning's traffic moving? Here's Chuck Whitaker from our traffic team. Happy New Year, Chuck.
Same right back to you, Don. Welcome back and good Monday, everybody. Some of the rain showers moving away from overnight. The roadways a little bit damp yet in spots, and especially north and west. Maybe you should pay attention to some of the bridges and overpasses and ramps. Just a word of caution in the far out areas from the Beltway. But the major interstates joining the ramps at 695 are clear. You won't see any problems early on the Beltway. We're looking at a light pace right now on both the inner and the outer loop. Tunnels are already busy right around the Fort McHenry Tunnel, especially on 95 as a lot of out-of-state traffic moves on through the 895 connection and the Key Bridge running light, and no problems right down the trip to the Capitol Beltway. Their roadways drying out nicely and all the lanes are clear. Don, Marty, good morning. Back to you.
Good morning, Chuck. Big news from the world of the traffic team. The engineering is almost done. Soon Mr. Whitaker will be joining us. We've entered the middle of the 20th century. We're going to have a visual from our traffic team this week, I think.
They put the line in Wednesday, and I guess we'll test it out.
Okay.
There you go.
Thursday or Friday.
Is it color or black and white? Do we know yet?
We haven't figured that out yet.
Okay.
Has Matthew Brady written on the side of the camera, though, so I'm a little concerned.
Well, okay, well, we're going to work on that.
That's all right. At least it's a start.
It is a start. We're actually, what we're going to do is we were going to get our engineering department to go out to Circuit City today.
Mm-hmm. That's right. I saw those on set.
They've got these little nifty little color cameras. It's the year-end closeout.
That's right.
Actually, the showroom models, but if they work, we're going to use one.
Hey, listen, take somebody else's ad and get another 10% off.
There you go. There you go. All right, Chuck.
Well, welcome back, boys. It should be interesting.
It should be. Mr. Whitaker to get married next weekend.
That's right.
Man, it's going to be a big year right off the get-go.
5 days and counting.
Yeah. It's as someone once told me, and I'm not too sure who it was, marriage is a great institution if you like living in an institution.
Works for us.
It's the truth. Hey, listen, let me take a look at some weather here, Chuck.
All right, go ahead. See you.
We've had some shower activity that Mr. Whitaker alluded to. I'm going to show you the data here in just a second. Plot low pressure just up to our northeast, and we've got a front passing through our way. But understand, there's a secondary blast behind that front. And this is where the cold air is going to come from this weekend. Believe me when I tell you, this big boy means business. Daytime highs by the end of the week, lower 30s. We're going to see the teens for sure. There will be flurries in the area this weekend, if I am not mistaken. Since we didn't have any flurry activity on New Year's Eve, it's the first time in history we have not had snow at BWI until, in other words, it had. What am I looking for? It's the latest. We're looking now at the latest snow date of any winter season in the history of record keeping in Baltimore.
Oh yeah. I remember you talking about that on Friday.
Yeah. So that's going to be a long caller. All right. 44 is going to be the high today. Take a look at the radar from the Doppler stuff just real quick. I just want to show you the shower activity passing through the way. It's our Doppler out of Sterling, Virginia.
Looks nice.
Yeah, it really does. Only shower activity now lingers on up to the north and east, and that's the news. Clearing skies, stay windy. A high of 44, 42 now. AccuWeather this 5-day next section.
Okay, time for more Witness News as we check out the stories making national headlines this day. A security guard who exchanged gunfire with a man at a Massachusetts abortion clinic says the gunman was a proficient madman. The suspect, John Salvi, allegedly opened fire at 2 abortion clinics in Brookline, Massachusetts on Friday, killing 2 people and wounding 5 others. Salvi was arrested in Norfolk, Virginia on Saturday after firing shots at a 3rd abortion clinic there. Salvi is being held yesterday at a jail in Norfolk. Outside the jail, anti-abortion activists expressed their support for him. In the meantime, Senate Republican leader Bob Dole says the recent attacks are a sign clinics need more federal protection. A New Year's Eve fire turned deadly at a Virginia hospital. Patients were forced to evacuate the medical center in Petersburg when the blaze broke out on Saturday night. Officials say it started in a patient's room on the 4th floor, but they are not sure exactly what caused it. All 4 people who died in the fire were patients at the hospital. Republican Phil Gramm has all but thrown his hat into the ring for the 1996 presidential race. The conservative U.S. Senator from Texas told CNN's Late Edition he will formally announce his run for the Republican presidential nomination on February the 23rd. Gramm has already filed papers with the Federal Election Commission, leaving little doubt about what he intends to do. He says the February announcement will be a, quote, big event. And finally, the traditional New Year's dips were taking place all across the country. About 20 members of the New York Polar Bear Club put on their bathing suits for a winter morning swim. While out in Boulder, Colorado, the Polar Bear Club has some freezing weather on Sunday. Members kept alive the New Year's Day tradition of jumping into Boulder's reservoir. The question still is, why?
Gets me away from the wife.
My parents think I'm an idiot. My husband left the town, or left the state, so he wouldn't have to do it with me.
All my friends think I'm crazy. I'm just trying to prove them right.
I think it's hysteria.
A good time was had by all, it says here, and we are told everyone's voice is back to normal this morning. You know, actually, the people up in New York, they had cold water to jump into, but it was 50 degrees up there yesterday.
Yeah, that wasn't exactly... Yeah. I don't know, man.
They didn't go for a roll in the snow first. Yeah.
I don't know.
But Boulder, that's another story.
Well, you know, well, forget it.
Ever wanted to be a member of a polar bear club?
No. I got to tell you the honest truth, no.
I can't go in a pool in the summertime if, you know, it doesn't pass the toe test.
Buddy, I'm telling you. I am telling you. That's why I had a daughter. Savannah, jump on in the pool. Tell me how it is. You kind of look. If her lips are just purple, well, all right, well, maybe. If they turn blue, sorry, I ain't getting in.
Yeah, kids will always go in. I don't understand why.
Won't they? You know why? Do you know why kids will always go in? And it has to do with an old Seinfeld show. They don't understand the SF, the shrinkage factor.
Ah.
Now.
But one of those things that comes on as you grow up.
I mean, that's brain, anything. I mean, any part of it. Well, anyway.
It's a 5:56.
Coming up, we're going to give you exclusive AccuWeather with a 5-day forecast. Blade's with us.
Yeah.
To talk to us in the control room about this upcoming morning edition. We got a bunch of stuff planned this day. It's 2 days into 1995. We're a CBS affiliate now, and we're known as Rise and Shine. And we'll be right back.
Coming up on 5:58.
All right, 42 right now. We'll go for a high of 44. Take a look at your AccuWeather 5-day forecast. And here's the deal for your first full week of 1995. It's going to get cold, no question. We'll go below normal from tomorrow on through the end of the week. And I think the outstanding feature here has got to be the overnight temperatures. At 15 on Wednesday and Thursday, and that's for real. Looks like tomorrow night we could see some flurries. There's a little rogue slug of moisture going to be moving our way. Our next concern about a weather system that could bring us some fairly foul winter weather isn't until this upcoming weekend. That's based on computer projections only. Okay, so we'll just have to wait and see how it plays itself out. But here's the big deal. For today, let's go ahead and call it 44 is a high. Windy conditions. It's certainly going to feel a little bit chilly later on. All right?
Okay.
Let's go down to the control room right now. And welcome our morning edition control team.
Yeah.
Good morning.
The Blade, Mr. Dorsey, Mr. Steve George. How are you?
Don, welcome back.
Thank you, thank you.
More importantly than everything that's happening this morning with CBS, the whole family's back together this morning for the first time in a very long time.
That's true.
I guess since right after Thanksgiving, really.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a deal.
You and I had 2 days together, but Blade wasn't here. And,
Right.
Yeah.
Blade did his cruise.
Yeah, he looks great.
He did not get engaged.
No, I did not.
People that went with him did.
Yes, there was another couple that got engaged, and I kind of teased Marty with that, and he almost had a heart attack last Monday.
He has this picture. He goes, two of the 4 people in this picture got engaged, and I look at Matt's. Matt's looks at me.
Marty dropped off the chair.
I did. I was on the floor, man. What a deal.
But no, I'm
all right,
not
Blade.
engaged.
Next cruise.
So I noticed the nice hat there. How is it that Scott and I didn't end up with these nice hats?
Well, Ron Matz let me borrow his. Ron and Mark Farrell, of course, went to New York a couple weeks ago to talk to the CBS people, and he let me have his This Morning Show hat, and of course the Late Show shirt, which I got when I was in New York. So nothing here is a freebie, really.
Aha. The freebies are out here.
Yeah, and he's wearing Young and Restless underwear today. So
That's
I mean,
right.
I guess we're
I'm just very excited to finally be working at the same network as David Letterman.
very good.
Yes. That's
All
what,
right.
that's what makes me happy.
Well, I tell you, let's move on with this thing.
Okay, let's talk about Coffee With this morning. We have a very important one, an informative one this morning. We're going to be talking about breast cancer. The American Cancer Society has a program called Reach to Recovery. And the most important thing about this is it handles only breast cancer patients, and the volunteers you work with have had breast cancer, which gives you a very important one-on-one, not only in getting advice on what to do, but also giving you emotional support from someone who has already experienced this. So
Okay.
we're gonna meet the woman who started the local chapter this morning.
Yeah, this is not going to be a downer. We heard about this and said, this is kind of cool, let's put it on. Okay? I guarantee you it's not going to be a downer at 6:25. It's not your same old typical story. Okay, it's going to be it'll be a positive to start the year off on.
It's very positive because we're helping people. So.
Right.
And now and then this morning, we're going to meet a local lady who started dancing at age 2, became a rockette, and now helps other people learn to dance.
Wow. Yeah, this would be cool. Local lady becomes a rockette. Think about that.
Real cool story.
All right.
And
Very
that's
good.
it. We're done.
See you.
See ya.
Take it easy. All right.
I'm waving. I'm a piece of toast.
Wait a
this
minute, I
morning.
was getting ready to go. You're a metronome.
That's right.
There you go. Stay with us.
Perfect timing.
After a brief commercial interlude, the Eyewitness News Morning Edition will come your way. Please don't go away. We will be right back.
This is CBS Channel 13.
With Baltimore's most watched morning newscast, this is Eyewitness News. With Don Scott, Marty Bass,
Hadaway Earl.
Very good, very good. Proud to be the newest member of the CBS television network. We are Group W Broadcasting and formerly Cable Inc.
And this is CBS. Used to have a big, deep voice say it like that before they got Earl Bozeman.
Yeah, it's incredible. You know, they heard the singing painter and they said, by gosh, let's bring this man in.
It's got a good sound to it. I like it. I like it.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. All right. It's 42 degrees right now. We'll give you the headlines, and we'll be here with your exclusive AccuWeather forecast in a couple minutes.
In the news this morning, a positive sign for Baltimore City. The homicide rate was far less than in 1993, the homicide rate for 94. A crash involving a city police car claimed the life of a Catonsville woman over the past weekend. And to lighten our collective load this morning, we'll tell you about the first baby of the new year in Maryland.
Oh, yes.
It's not necessarily by George, either.
Which hospital was it at? Do we know?
I read it this
morning. Oh,
morning.
man, these hospitals, don't you kid yourself. Where was it?
Howard County General.
Hoco Gen.
Yep.
Wow, the Club Howard got the first baby of the year, huh?
About that 22 minutes in, I believe.
And don't kid yourself, these hospitals, man, they recruit women who are like, dude. It's like, you know, I'm not kidding you. Okay, because it's a free ad, it's a huge plug. Oh, yeah, if you come in and you're only, contracted a couple centimeters, they send you home. They're looking for top of the pops. You kidding me? Sure. 9 centimeters? Come on in, ma'am. Have a seat here. that's how it goes.
There are special cars cruising the expressways looking for those.
Yes, they
cars
are.
Over to the side. You guys having a baby?
Lower 40s now. Let's take a look at AccuWeather forecast. We've got a rather zesty system moving our way. We had a front pass through the area during the overnight with showers. We'll keep a lingering shower in the forecast. That's some sun, windy. By p.m., I'm talking exactly 12 o'clock, if not earlier. A high of 44 degrees this day. Tonight, clear skies, cold. Wow, look at this range of overnight low temperatures. 18 to 25. Whew, winter's here, folks. 22 is going to be the conversational low. And tomorrow, let's go ahead and make it partly sunny, cold. 4 degrees below normal, we'll have a high of 37 degrees. I want you to look at the satellite photo just real quick. We've had a rather strong front pressed through the area during the overnight, and here it is. Okay, now let's go ahead and say that this is the first of 2 fronts that will pass through the area. Second front, lay back here. Cold air is diving our way, and that's going to be the big headline for this first week of 1995. As far as the storm that could bring us our first shot of heavy winter frozen precip, there's really nothing on the map right now. But we are keeping an eye on this big boy down in the 4 corners. It looks like it might mean business for somebody this weekend. Will it be us? The computers say it's worth looking at throughout this week. Certainly nothing going to happen in this area until this upcoming weekend. We'll give you the AccuWeather 5-day forecast a little bit later. Don.
Thank you. There's a little bit of rain on the roads this morning, but there should be a little bit of a rush, this being a holiday. Here's Chuck Whitaker from our traffic team to comment on that. Happy Monday, Chuck.
Same right back to you, Don. If you're coming downtown, JFX inbound is clear. The roadway is drying out nicely. No problems south of Northern Parkway. And all the lanes are open around the Beltway, running lighter than usual, of course, because of the holiday. But the main line is a little bit busier on the west side, now below 70 down the hill towards I-95. At the Harbor Tunnels, 895 and the Key Bridge, no problems there. 95 busy, a lot of out-of-state traffic moving through with about a 1-minute delay both north and southbound. Just a reminder once again, with the rain showers moving away, some of the wet areas north and west could see a little ice on some of the bridges, so watch your speed. Back to you, Don.
Thank you. 6:07 in the news this morning. No new record for Baltimore homicides in 1994. Baltimore hit a record high for murders in 1993 with 353. In 1994, that number dropped to 321. Some of the credit goes to the Narcotics Enforcement Unit, which targeted violent criminals in high crime areas. And officials say some credit also goes to last year's harsh winter weather, which kept many people off the streets. An accident involving a city police car claimed the life of a Catonsville woman on New Year's Day. 18-year-old Valerie Taylor was killed when a patrol car hit her vehicle at an intersection near Johns Hopkins Hospital. Officer Keith DeVoe was driving the cruiser and responding to a call for backup. Taylor's 12-year-old sister Lori, who was also in the car, is in serious condition at Johns Hopkins. The state's attorney's office will now decide whether charges should be filed against Officer DeVoe. A woman wanted in connection with an Anne Arundel County murder from last week is in custody this morning. 31-year-old Rebecca Hall turned herself into police over the weekend. Hall says she helped to destroy evidence and dispose of the body of Susan McAteer. McAteer was found stabbed to death last week. Richard Janey has already been charged with McAteer's murder. Hall has been charged as an accessory to that killing. The new year brought a big change for a local church. It was a bittersweet day for the congregation of the Huber Memorial Church of Christ. The church at 2840 The Alameda had been home to the congregation for more than 100 years. But on this day, the congregation was moving to a new location. After a tearful farewell, a motorcade took members of the congregation to the Huber Memorial's new home in the 5700 block of York Road. Then it was time for the ribbon cutting and celebration. The church will take advantage of its new space to open up a Christian day school and daycare center later this year. Maryland's New Year's baby is enjoying his first full day of life. Benjamin Meyer was the first baby born here in 1995. He came into the world just 22 minutes after midnight New Year's Day. Little Benjamin made his debut at Howard County General Hospital, weighing in at 8 pounds, 4 ounces. His proud parents are Tracy and Mark Myers, and they are looking forward to a fabulous, if a bit sleep-deprived, 95. Aww. In sports, it appears Nebraska will be the national champion. Last night, the Cornhuskers beat the Hurricanes of Miami in the Orange Bowl. The unbeaten Cornhuskers rallied to beat number 3 Miami 24-17 behind the fourth quarter leadership of quarterback Tommy Frazier. Frazier, playing for the first time since being sidelined in late September, guided the Cornhuskers to 2 touchdowns to Corey Schlesinger in the final 8 minutes of the game. The Associated Press poll won't be released until Tuesday tomorrow, but even if second-ranked Penn State beats Oregon in the Rose Bowl today, Nebraska seems certain to finish number 1. The national championship would end the school's 23-year title drought. All right, 6:10.
This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable.
Not the Cornhuskers.
No, I was just sitting here, seriously. I was getting ready to get up and walk over and do another plug for Call 1-800-WATCH-13, talk about this network affiliate change. I just punched something up on the wires. This is unbelievable.
Tell me.
The rich only get richer. What in the heck is going on here? Who's the richest woman in the world?
The Queen.
The Queen of England.
Sure.
Okay, remember, I guess it was about a month and a half ago we were talking about they found oil under Windsor Castle.
Sure.
You know, and just in the middle of another family feud, up from the ground came a bubbling crude oil, that is.
Texas
Black
tea.
gold, Beefeater's tea. Yes. Well, anyway, guess what? Guess is unbelievable. They have now found under Balmoral, her castle in Scotland, gold. This is unbelievable.
Well, she needed the oil money to fix up Windsor Castle, so what will she do with the gold, I wonder?
Geologists from the government-funded British Geologic Survey who visited Balmoral said they have found traces of gold in streams on the remote, rugged country estate. This is unbelievable. It's like, you know, my gosh almighty. Unbelievable. They've got oil under Windsor. First off, she's got enough gold to break Randy Brooks from Edward Arthur Jeweler out into a fatal sweat. With enough diamonds. Now she's got gold under Balmoral, oil under Windsor. Man.
I have to find uranium at Sandringham.
Yes.
Sandringham is her other estate up in the Yorkshire Plains.
All right.
Somebody will call me. It's north and east of London.
Man alive. Okay. Guarantee you she's not standing in line to buy pick 3 and pick 4 tickets tonight in London. Okay. All right. Oh, by the way, to enrich your television viewing experience, King of Transitions came in the building.
Yes.
Call 1-800-WATCH-13. And listen, by the way, we got a young lady sitting over here. Can we swing around and get a shot? What's your name, please, again? This is Trish. Trish is a Towson State student. Trish was hired as a temporary today to come in here and answer the flood of phone calls we were certain to get regarding this network affiliation change. Trish, how many calls have we gotten to this point? Use hand signals, please. 0. Okay, very good.
Are we paying you by the call?
No, we're not paying her by the call.
Okay.
See, I just happen to think you people are smarter than everybody's giving you credit for. I think this whole thing's going to shake down within 48 hours. I guarantee you somebody turned on Channel 13 today figuring, well, I bet Don and Marty are still there. And by gosh, Don and Marty are still here.
How about that?
Unbelievable. Okay, all right.
It's 6:13.
Birthdays of national... No, listen. There's not a whole lot of birthdays to talk about these days. As a matter of fact, there's only one I could find out about. It's more infamous than famous. Jim Baker with 2 Ks and an ER, former evangelist, 56 years old this day. All right, birthdays of local note, we will say happy birthday this January 2nd to Brady Whitby. Brady is 4 years old, lives in Greensboro, Maryland. Birthday greetings today to Stephen Bankard. Stephen is 9 years old. This lady right here, this is...
Trish
wait, we did get a call. Wait, hold on. Are they still there? Oh, this one to wish us a Happy New Year? That's too... Okay. I was going to get on the phone. I was going to get... All right, that's
I think they wanted to talk to you is what they wanted to do.
Okay. Mary Broning. This is Mary Broning. That's her husband, Charles, right there. Mary watches us every day. She is 74 years young. Happy birthday to you, Mary. Ask him what the count and the amount is when you pick up the phone, Trish. This is Pat. This is Pat Allen. Pat is 43 years old, and Connor Charles Blanton is 1 year old. Happy birthday to each and every one of you on this 2nd day of January, 1995, and happy birthday to my partner here.
Well, tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Okay, forget it.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to each and every one of you.
And Trish is on. Trish had call number 2, but she's...
I'll talk to her in a second. That's cool. Unbelievable.
We're keeping those phones ringing, though.
Okay.
And my birthday occurs tomorrow. 6:14. I will still come. We'll look at news from elsewhere, of course.
You know, Lawrence Tisch is taking you out to lunch tomorrow.
I hope so. And,
yeah.
Last night's lottery numbers and the weekend's lotto number.
Okay.
Coming up.
Speaking of lunch, no school lunches today because school's not in session. So we'll go ahead and throw it to the break. Stand by for more action here from your newest CBS affiliate. We are Group W Broadcasting and formerly Cable Link's Morning Edition, and we'll be right back. Let's go. All right, good morning. It is 6:17, 17 minutes after 6. 42 in Baltimore now, 44 in Columbia, 40 Westminster, Annapolis, 45, 43 up 95, just to the southeast of Bel Air. It's like every time, the guy still watches. Every time he figured out the network switch. Every time I say up 95 in Bel Air, phone rings, Route 1 in Bel Air, excuse us. 42 in Easton, here he is calling right now. Here's forecast for the day. We're going to watch for clearing certainly by the afternoon. It's going to get windy. We'll have a high of 44 degrees. Cold air comes into the region. This will be the warmest day, certainly out of the next 5. Winds from the northwest at 25 on the bay. Small craft advisory in effect. Same rough conditions offshore. Your 5-day AccuWeather forecast coming from your newest CBS affiliate. Here, hopefully, before I lose my voice by 6:30. Done.
Thank you. In news from elsewhere this morning, the Battle of Grozny continues. Russian tanks staged a New Year's Eve assault on rebel forces who had captured the capital of Chechnya. No word yet if the attack was successful. This morning, Russian reinforcements are gathered on the outskirts of the capital, ready for a new round of fighting. Russia's defense minister has vowed to cleanse the city of insurgents within a week. 5 people are dead, more than 100 injured after fire roared through a crowded ballroom in Antwerp, Belgium on New Year's Eve. 450 people trampled over each other trying to find a way out, among them the city's police chief, who did make it out alive. The cause of the fire hasn't been determined yet, but witnesses say they heard an explosion just prior to it. Marion Barry is promising a new and better Washington, D.C. Barry will be sworn in as mayor of the nation's capital again today. His inauguration comes 4 years after he was forced from office in disgrace over drug charges. Barry is promising to transform a city racked with financial problems and the 3rd highest homicide rate in the country. Checking last night's Maryland Daily numbers, the pick 3 was 952, the pick 4 was 9401. Last night's Maryland match 5, 15, 16, 21, 33, and 38. And there was no winner in this weekend's $5 million lotto drawing, which means Wednesday's potential winnings will be $6 million even. You should have had 3, 16, 17, 26, 41, and 42.
Remember when.
It's time for Now and Then with Norm Vogel.
Coming up on 620. Hey!
I know everybody said it, but Happy New Year.
Yep.
Good morning.
Back. Good to see y'all.
Well, we're part of television history. You know what? One day somebody doing a Now and Then may look at an air check of the show and go, hey, this is the day that they became CBS.
Yep.
I'm not thoroughly confused, but I do know that we are no longer the Dumont Television Network.
Yeah. Good. Norm, you're...
I got that down.
Man, I tell you, you have gotten 95 off to a rocking start.
Yes,
here,
indeed.
pal.
Or the Blue Network. We were once the Blue Network as well.
What's up?
Well, you know, I throw the photographs and little news clips up, and I say, please, if you recognize anyone, help me. For from time to time, I will say, or if you think you may have a good Now and Then topic, let me know.
Right.
Well, someone did. They sent me some material, and the woman you're going to meet this morning used to dance here on the Jack Wells show.
Wow.
The Jack Wells show.
Yeah.
All right.
So I checked it out. You're going to like it. Mr. Dorsey, video if you please. Ladies and gentlemen, meet Jean Cattell. I visited with her recently at her studio in Dundalk. She told me she started dancing when she was 2 years old, and by the time she was a teenager, she was teaching.
At 13, I had started teaching children in the neighborhood. I had about 10 students. They gave me a quarter, and I gave them dance lessons.
So when you were 13, you became an instructor?
Yes. I had this feeling inside that I knew that's what I was going to do, probably for the rest of my life. But when I graduated from high school, I just had to try my luck in New York. And I guess I was just in the right place at the right time.
Yep, by the time she turned 20, Jean was a rockette, performing at the Radio City Music Hall in New York. She danced there for 3 years, but had to return home to undergo major foot surgery.
And the foot doctor said, or the surgeon said, there's no guarantee, Jean, that you're actually ever going to dance again. And I just proved them wrong.
Jean turned that obstacle into an opportunity and started teaching full-time. And since then has taught probably thousands of youngsters the joys of dancing.
As a matter of fact, this is very strange. I am teaching now children of girls who I taught 23 years ago. Their children are coming here to the studio now and taking lessons, little 5- and 6-year-olds.
Although Jean has been dancing since she was 2, she's not quite ready to quit.
I'm not ready to give it up yet. I'll know when the time is right. I'll know.
And until then, there is work to be done. After all, there could be down there another rocket or two ready for takeoff.
Hey. You know, that's a very big deal if you think about it. How many people have become rockettes?
Especially rockettes.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's dance troops and there's dance troops. There's the June Taylor Dancers, speaking of the CBS television network on the Jack Gleason show for years. But the Rockettes, that's a major, big deal.
All right, and we have with us another famous dancer right here on this set. I pulled some footage from, well, I used this on the appeals photo last week, but Don wasn't here. Okay. I want to go back to that, and I didn't get any calls on it, so let's check out a story that happened.
Disco Don here.
There he is,
Disco Don and Disco Downey.
Gene
Downey, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was looking for some of the folks that appeared in that special with you.
That's Gerard.
No, Gerard was on the planning boards at this stage. I don't know where this was.
I think it was, I wanted to say, it's now an Afghani restaurant, right down next to Don is Vernon. I don't think it was called Dunhill's. I think Dunhill's was the old Martinique.
I should remember where we shot that.
Maybe it was Dunhill. Anyway,
I have the shot.
That's exactly where that was, by the way. I know that. I know it for a fact.
Okay, I just trying to remember shooting. We shot at a bunch of different places that day.
But that's where that place was.
And Barranco was your cameraman. I got a shot of him last week looking through the mirror. Now, again, if you see anybody you recognize, give us a call. Or, again, if you think you have a good subject for a now and then, drop us a line.
There's the address, TD Hill, 21211. It will get to us.
Okay, 624 coming up. We're going to have a quick check on traffic from Chuck Whitaker.
Norm will be back. That's sign language. I'll see you Wednesday.
I'll see you Wednesday.
We'll see you after the break with 5 days worth of AccuWeather and Coffee With. Please stay with us. We will be right back.
All right, Marty sits down, and Chuck Whitaker stands up. 627, time for a quick check on traffic. Go ahead, Chuck.
All right, Don, we're looking good around the area. No major problems on that section of 95 through Maryland. We're looking good northbound to the Delaware line. Southbound is clear from White Marsh into the Beltway, and then the trip down towards the area at the Capitol Beltway in towards Washington is also clear and up to the posted limit. The major interstates around the Beltway looking good on 70, on 795, and also on I-83. About a 1-minute delay right now at the Fort McHenry Tunnel. Back to you, Don and Marty.
Hey, Chuck, I want you to stay with us here for just a couple seconds.
All right.
Okay, there's a reason I'm saying this. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Whitaker is going to be married. Chuck's going to be married on Saturday.
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock in the afternoon in Bel Air, right?
And Forest Hill.
Forest Hill, to be exact.
That's all right.
Now, the reason you're holding, I want you to hold on.
It's a C-Mart. The wedding's
It is
at
a C-Mart. The invitations were great. They were like hand-printed.
That's correct.
On newsprint and sent out in the envelope. It was just great. Take a look at the 5-day forecast. The reason I'm saying this, Chuck, is we've got clear weather primarily this week, but it's going to get cold. Now, I want you on with me because of the next statement I'm about to make.
Oh, no.
Computer projections say that our next chance of a storm coming to the area that could possibly give us any major problems at all wouldn't be until the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting married what time Saturday, Chuck?
2 o'clock, but we've ordered extra cots.
Well, I'll spend Chuck's honeymoon with him. Okay.
That's
Anyway,
all right, too. Could be wild.
It looks like, excuse me, it looks like, hey, save that for when you're on CBM. Okay, now, understand, we'll keep you abreast of how the weather for Saturday looks, Chuck.
Thank you.
But it looks like right now that if we have any problems, it won't be until the weekend.
Cancel the tent unless they're going to heat it for you.
Absolutely.
All right.
How about the food? Should we continue with that, you think?
Right now, don't cancel it yet.
Right.
All right, Chuck.
Thank you.
See you later. Hey, Chuck, don't worry about it. Potato chips don't go bad. All right, let's take a look at your AccuWeather. No, we already did. I'm sorry. It's 42 now. We're going for a high of 44 today. Big cool down hits, of course, once we get into the middle of the week. Got 59 to BWI yesterday. The hot spot in the country, 83 degrees in Tamiami, Florida.
Wow.
And the national low, minus 34 degrees. This is the air that's kind of trying to come our way, by the way. Minus 34 in Stanley, Idaho. All right.
Okay, front pages this morning. The New York Post has New York's new governor saying, today it begins. He's talking about, of course, our
the
CBS.
Network, the
CBS
change,
number.
absolutely, yeah.
The man on camera, too, wrote that line for us. He's also from Forest Hill, as a matter of fact. Inside the paper, you were talking about what a big business it is for hospitals to have the first baby of the year, and up in New York, it's on page 7 of the New York Post. That's a hard headline to say, by the way. Apple of Cop, took it down too fast there. Apple of Cop Pop's eye is Apple's first baby in '95. Apple of Cop Pop's eye.
There you go.
Okay.
First baby, of course, in this area, born at the Club Howard County General Hospital.
Yep. Philadelphia Inquirer has a color picture of yesterday's rainy parade that ushered in the new year up there. It is a new year with a new route for the parade up in Philadelphia. If you went late, maybe you missed it. And this interesting story, 5 years too late, perhaps, on the front page. They now say that the big grape scare of 1989, when there were supposed to be poison grapes coming our way from Chile, was a hoax, and there was no poison whatsoever.
Took them nuts, and I threw all that rocket ship away. Hey, I can't believe I did it. Unbelievable.
5 years later, the grapes
$15 worth of wine gone.
Yes.
Whole case. All right. Coffee with this day. We heard about this program called Reach to Recovery. And we thought, well, that's kind of neat and all. Another breast cancer story, very honestly, which we are inundated with. And I'm not trying to lessen the impact. I'm a cancer survivor. I understand this deal, okay? But every once in a while, you just get immune to stories. I mean, you just keep hearing and hearing to the point that the message doesn't get through. So we got this pamphlet, and then we went, well, that's kind of neat. And then we started looking at it and realized, wait a minute, this is a support group for survivors. This is like something completely new. Let's go right to Studio 8H right now. And joining us, hi, ladies, how are you?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Marty.
Could you make it official and say 3 magic words for us? A lady on the left, what is your name, please, in the pink?
Oh, Renee Adler.
I can't hear you, I'm sorry.
Renee Adler.
Lene?
Your mic is not working. I'm sorry. Who's in the middle? What's your name?
Sonia Lowitz.
Hey, Sonia, how are you?
Good morning.
And to your right?
Van Aronoff.
Ruth Ann.
All right, how many are you all wearing microphones?
Yes.
Okay, one of the three are working. Sonia, how are you this day?
I'm fine.
Okay, now tell these people briefly about Reach to Recovery. This is a real uplifting thing.
What'd you say? I didn't hear you.
Is my microphone working now? You all are the support group for folks after treatment is over and all said and done with.
It's not really a support group, Marty. It's a one-on-one. It's one woman talking to another woman. That's what Reach to Recovery is.
Wow.
And what we do is to help this woman accept herself. It is physical, emotional, and cosmetic.
Okay, you yourself are a survivor.
I'm a survivor.
Did you have the one-on-one relationship with someone when
No, I didn't. And that's why I know how important this is.
And therein lay the reason that you're here. This is that, I mean, you're right. It's not technically a support group. It's a support person.
That's right.
Wow. How long has this program been in effect? How old is this?
In Baltimore, it's been here for 29 years.
Wow.
Why is it we're just...
It was affiliated, it was by itself, really. And it became affiliated with the American Cancer Society 25 years ago.
Why is it we're just hearing about this heavy right now?
I don't know, Marty.
Well, better late than never. How about that?
Right.
This is right off the bat. If somebody's watching, either a breast cancer survivor or someone who has someone in their family who is just now dealing with the situation, how do they get in touch with you? This is the bottom line. How do they reach for help?
Well, there are two ways. One way would be for the physician to call, and the other way would be for the patient herself to make the call to the American Cancer Society.
So the American Cancer Society is the touch point.
That's right. Okay. And it would be good for either one to call to get help for this patient just after a biopsy is done, when the diagnosis is made.
Really?
Or when she goes home.
So in other words, this can start before treatment?
This can start before treatment, right.
Cool.
You see, patients are in the hospital for such a short period of time that it's very important that we get to them either before or after. If we get to them before, then we can see them after as well.
Have we got enough? I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to ask if the mics are working now. I was going to get Ruth Ann in on the right-hand side in on this. How many women have you helped, and were you yourself helped?
Yes, I was helped very much. When the Reach to Recovery volunteer came to see me 12 and a half years ago, she was a great help. And I've seen many women and hope that have helped them over the years.
Cool. So yours is a payback situation.
Absolutely. We're all volunteers, and we're all women who have experienced the situation, so we know what we're talking about.
Which leads me to my next question. Do you all need volunteers? Sonia?
We always need volunteers.
And they get in touch the same way? Call the American Cancer Society and talk about Reach to Recovery?
Reach to Recovery.
Yeah. Oh, your mic is working. I just heard you clear your throat.
Yes.
Hello.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, how you doing, darling? You volunteer also, yeah?
Yes, I do.
Is it? Let me ask you this: when you get done with a day of volunteering, I mean, are you uplifted? I mean, is this just lip service or does it work?
Well, Revan was my volunteer who was wonderful for me.
Wow. Okay.
So when I go to we used to go to hospitals, of course. Today it's impossible, but when I help someone, it makes me feel that because I've experienced it and she helped me so very much.
Got it.
That maybe I've helped this person go through this traumatic experience.
Cool. Listen, we've got to run. We've come to the end of our time. But we just thought, we heard about this program and said, this is really neat. One-on-one when it really counts. Hey, listen, if you're a doctor, you can call the American Cancer Society, ask about Reach to Recovery, get some literature for your patients. If you're a patient, pick up the phone, and that's the news. These folks will help you out. It's free, right?
It's free.
It's even better.
Yes.
Hey, listen. Ladies, thanks for coming and having a healthy 95.
Yes, same to you.
Happy New Year.
We've got Rise and Shine mugs. We finally picked the lock to the safe and we're able to get in there.
Two of three have them, I think.
2 of 3? We'll see if we can't get you another one. All right, ladies, we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in.
Excellent.
Great program.
See, I told you it was going to be uplifting.
Sure.
Very cool.
I had no doubt.
All right.
And again, anything that involves a payback situation makes sense to me. If somebody helps you, you help them back. The address for Coffee With. Help us sometime. Okay. It is 6:36. Still to come on This Morning Edition this day. Check your letter before you mail it. The price of postage has gone up as of yesterday.
All right. Very good indeed. And in sports, the playoffs have begun, and the Bears have advanced. Enjoy it for a week, folks. Who do they play, Dallas or San Francisco? That's over with next Sunday. We'll have the details of yesterday, though, last Sunday, when we come back.
Hey, Don and Marty, I'm Marky Post from Hearts of Fire, and I'm looking forward to joining WJZ, home of the morning edition.
Hey, now, Marky Post, give her a big round of applause. Thank you for joining us this day, darling.
Suddenly my Heart's of Fire.
Certainly just appreciate that. Yeah, we do. Yeah. All right. Woo. Go ahead and say it, the 3 words.
This is CBS.
This is CBS.
I said it better, I think. Where's Earl? I compare better with Earl Bozeman, I think.
All right.
This is CBS.
Listen, it's a very interesting morning. Oh, by the way, it's really funny. I was talking to the ladies we had on Coffee With.
Yes.
And they said, now that we've been drinking coffee and we're wide awake, where do we go at 20 minutes to 7?
The farm store.
All right. It's 42 degrees right now. Let's take a look at the weather. What do you think?
I'm ready.
It's going to be a blustery afternoon. As a matter of fact, we're getting ready to make a change. Let me just cycle through to this thing. Just got off the phone with AccuWeather. We think skies are sufficiently cleared out right now that we're going to go ahead and just say, I'm going to make this change here in a second. We're going to go ahead and say, let's just make it official right now. Let's go ahead and call it partly sunny. Here's what's not going to change. Windy with a high of 44 degrees, and that's an absolute fact. General thinking right now is that the wind's going to kick up. We had a front come through the area during the overnight. Gave us some shower activity. Roads are a little bit damp. No shower activity in the region. Now, sky's going to really clear out tonight. It's going to be cold. Look at your overnight range of temperatures, 18 to 25. Overnight low 22. Cold air starts to reinforce into the area tomorrow. Partly sunny. Let's make it 4 below normal. We'll have a high of 37 degrees, and it even gets chillier toward the middle of the week. Not only is it a new year, but a new season is upon us. It's called winter with a capital W, and it's making its first real appearance here in Baltimore this week. No inclement weather over the next 5 days, but it is certainly going to get cold. AccuWeather's details this half hour. Don.
Thank you. Clear skies, pretty clear rush. Here's Chuck Whitaker from our traffic team once again. Go ahead, Chuck.
All right, Don, looking good right now in Anne Arundel County. If you're headed north on I-97 or Ritchie Highway, the parkway is clear between the airport cutoff and the Fort Meade ramps. And if you're coming inbound from Carroll County, pretty light traffic right now along 140 and Route 30. 795 is clear between Franklin Boulevard, the Metro Station, and the Beltway ramps. 695 is clear. The west side, just a little moderate traffic right now between Frederick Road and the ramps with I-95. 1 minute delay at the Fort McHenry Tunnel. Back to you, Don.
Thank you. Coming up on 6:42 in the news this morning, a New Year's morning crash involving a city police car claimed the life of a Catonsville woman and seriously injured her younger sister. 18-year-old Valerie Taylor was killed after a patrol car rammed into her car at an Johns Hopkins hospital. The accident happened about 2:30 in the morning as Officer Keith DeVoe was responding to a call for a backup. Taylor's 12-year-old sister, Lori, was taken to Johns Hopkins, where at last report she's in serious condition. A driver in a third car, which was hit by the Taylors, was taken to Church Hospital with leg injuries. The state's attorney's office will investigate to see if any charges should be filed against the officer. A woman wanted for questioning in a murder case in Annapolis has turned herself over to police. 31-year-old Rebecca Hall told police she destroyed evidence and helped dispose of the body of Susan McAteer, who was found stabbed to death last week. Richard Janey has already been charged with McAteer's murder. Hall has been charged as an accessory to that killing. New Year's Day 1995 will forever be remembered as a historic one for a Baltimore church. The congregation of the Huber Memorial Church of Christ began their New Year's services by saying goodbye to their old church. The old church at 2840 the Alameda had been home to the congregation for more than 100 years. But after a tearful farewell, a motorcade took members of the congregation to the new home in the 5700 block of York Road. As worshipers made their way inside their new home, the celebration began.
When you feel it's God's will, it's not difficult at all. You know, you have the memories, but you also have the hope for the future.
How does it feel right now to be in here?
Exciting, exciting, exciting.
The old congregation will take advantage of its new space to open up a Christian day school and daycare center later this year. If you mail any letters today, you'd better make sure you have the correct postage on them. The cost of a first-class stamp went up yesterday from 29 to 32 cents. You can buy the new 32-cent stamp, or if you still have 29-cent stamps left, the post office also has 3-cent stamps you can now purchase. One other reminder, this is a federal holiday, so there is no mail delivery today.
All right.
It is 6:43.
All right, coming up, we're going to give you a look at some temperatures around the region. Actually, it is warmer right now than it will be for a daytime high any day this week.
Wow.
You get the idea, winters here. We'll explain it all.
Also still to come in this morning's Medical Minute, making the best of your yogurt. And in sports, they're going nuts in Nebraska after a big win in the Orange Bowl. More on that when we come back.
And took it in for the Skier. Still has it after the play.
Good morning, just slightly after 6:45, 42 in the district and here in Baltimore now, 36 in Hagerstown, 39 degrees in Wilmington. It is essentially a warm morning. Now, the reason I'm saying that is that cold air is moving into the region. We had a front pass through the area. As a matter of fact, can we take a look at our Doppler radar out of Sterling, Virginia? That would be real sweet right now. Here's this front passing through the area this morning. We had a vigorous amount of shower activity during the overnight. Skies have cleared out right now. Partly mostly sunny today. We're going to go for a high in the mid-40s, but understand there's cold air coming. Normal daytime high this week, not what the normals are, but what it's going to be this week in reality, in the mid-30s with overnight lows in the teens. Winter's arrived, folks. It's a new year, and it's a new way of doing the weather. We're starting to use the word cold in earnest. No more above normal conditions here for at least this first week of 95. AccuWeather again for you by 7, Don.
Thank you. In this morning's Medical Minute, the lowdown on yogurt. Not all of it is as healthy as we might think. Health Watch reporter Kelly Lynn explains.
Good morning. If you sometimes opt for frozen yogurt when you want a low-calorie, low-fat treat, beware. Some frozen yogurt has just as much fat and calories as regular ice cream. Now, the nutritional content varies depending on the kind of frozen yogurt you buy. The yogurt could contain anywhere from 50 to 280 calories. Take, for example, Yoplait Double Fruit. It's got 50 calories per serving and about 2% of the fat you should eat in a day, and there's no problem with that. That's fine. But let's also consider Ben & Jerry's Cherry Garcia, which happens to be one of my all-around favorites. In one serving of it, you'll get 280 calories, 25% of your recommended daily fat, and 50% of your recommended daily saturated fat. The worst are Dove bars. The frozen yogurt treats will give you 268 calories and 55% of the daily allowance of saturated fat. So, next time you get a taste for a low-fat frozen yogurt, don't forget to check the label. I'm Kelly Lynn, and that's your Medical Minute.
Thank you, Kelly. In her quest for a recount of the governor's race, Ellen Salbre is now conceding she is not accusing her opponent, Paris Glendening, with any election day cheating. In his commentary this morning, Michael Lesker says it's getting a little unclear precisely what Salbre is claiming.
When the final count came in, showing Ellen Salbre losing the election by about 6,000 votes, it was natural for her to feel angry and maybe even cheated. When she went after cases of wrongdoing, there were doubts cast, but also a sense that if she finds a pattern of cheating, then heads ought to roll. The question is, whose heads? Salbre's attorneys now admit they're not trying to tie Paris Glendening into any scheme, nor any elections officials. Is she saying 11,000 people individually took it upon themselves to try to swing an election illegally? Well, not exactly, because in fact, of the 11,000 allegations of irregularities, she's claiming actual fraud in less than 1,000 of those cases. The others involve such things as changing your address but voting at your old polling place. If people made mistakes, they should be cleared up. If they committed willful fraud to fix an election, they should be arrested. But it's unclear who's calling whom a crook, and it's looking like a long shot for Ellen Salbre to be the next governor of Maryland. I'm Michael Olesker.
Thank you, Michael. In sports, it appears Nebraska has the national title all locked up. Last night, the Cornhuskers put the squeeze on Miami in the Orange Bowl and ended a long drought for Nebraska coach Tom Osborne. The unbeaten Cornhuskers rallied to beat number 3 Miami 24-17 behind the fourth quarter leadership of quarterback Tommy Frazier, who was playing for the first time since being sidelined with some blood clots back in late September. He guided the Cornhuskers to 2 touchdowns by Corey Schlesinger in the final 8 minutes. The final Associated Press poll, of course, won't be released until tomorrow, but even if second-ranked Penn State beats Oregon in the Rose Bowl today, Nebraska seems certain to finish number 1. There was also some NFL action yesterday as the early rounds of the playoffs continued. In the early game, the Cleveland Browns beat the New England Patriots. In the late game, it was an upset in the making as the Minnesota Vikings took on the Chicago Bears. With your Rise and Shine Sports Wrap, Chris Ely.
Good morning, everybody. In NFL yesterday, the Vikings had played the Bears 6 times under Dennis Green, inside, outside, inside domes, outside in the air, at night, during the day, and never during that time had the Bears ever beaten the Vikings under Dennis Green. It all changed yesterday in one of the most important games in those two teams' history, and at least in this season, it was the playoffs, the wild card, the Bears at the Vikings, where it was a huge football game in the National Football League. Second quarter, 7-3 Bears. Steve Walsh, play action, rolls out, hits tight end Keith Jennings. Bears in the lead 14-3. But Minnesota comes back late in the half. Warren Moon will pitch the pass to Chris Carter in the corner of the end zone. Carter brings it down. The Vikings missed the 2-point conversion, trail at the half 14-9. But the Bears were piling on points from there. Raymond Harris takes the handoff, breaking tackles, getting into the clear, rumbling 29 yards for the score. That made it 21-9 in favor of Chicago. The Bears went on to beat the Vikings 35-18 to advance to the second round of the playoffs. That's it for me for this morning. Please join John Buren and the rest of the CBS Eyewitness News team at 5 o'clock for more on Today in Sports. For now, this is Chris Ely sending it back to Don Scott, the gangster of love, and the Bassarino back together again.
Yes, we are.
Very good.
Yes, we are. Very good. And it is CBS. Well, that's not CBS. That's 1-800.
Well, I'm getting ready to talk about that. May I have the envelope, please? Let's just go ahead right into it. Mr. Ron Mackey, ladies and gentlemen. Shameless self-promotion this day. Look, here's the deal. We're going to be talking about an interview with someone from the CBS television network who's going to say, my gosh, we're just so happy that you're now part of our big happy family here. And my gosh, we certainly are. Tonight, Deborah Stone's going to introduce us to John Lando, who plays Byron Sully on the popular show Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman. That's coming up tonight at 5 on Eyewitness News. Here's the deal. It's not brain surgery, and Ron and I were talking about this. We don't think anybody's giving you, the audience, enough credit. It's true. The first time you go looking for your favorite show, no matter what it is, you're going to figure out what station it's on. And it's real easy. Channel 11 goes back to being NBC. Channel 2, unfortunately for them, becomes ABC, who are getting ready to do their end of the century slide. And we are thrilled to death to be part of CBS. No matter what you're looking for, we'll help you out. Call 1-800-WATCH-13 about information about anything you'd like to know about television in Baltimore, Maryland. Not just about 13. We're your full-service station. We're big enough to say, this is on there, and we're here, and we know you'll be back at 5, 6, 11, and then again tomorrow morning. Not only is this CBS, but this is Eyewitness News, and nothing changes, and we will see you tonight at 5, where these days we're very fond of saying CBS.
Look at that.
Woo! We'll see you when we come back after the break.
That's Rich. 6:52, lottery numbers 2 when we come back. Don't go away. This is CBS. Don't forget. 6:55.
42 now. Skies clearing even as we speak. We'll go for a windy afternoon, high of 44. Cold for tomorrow and the rest of the week. That's AccuWeather.
A couple of first-place nines on last night's Maryland Daily Numbers. The pick 3 was 952. The pick 4 was 9401. Last night's Maryland Match 5, 15, 16, 21, 33, and 38. No winner. This weekend's lotto drawing means Wednesday's potential winning $6 million even. Should have had 3, 16, 17, 26, 41, and 42. There are 363 CBS days left in this year. About 5 minutes in the hour. Still to come, we'll update your day start with traffic. Okay. It is a little less than 2. It's a little less than 2 now before 7 o'clock. How's traffic moving? Here's Chuck Whitaker from our traffic team. Go ahead, Chuck.
All right, Don, good Monday, everybody. If you're heading out towards the major interstates this morning, 95 looks good inbound from the Harford County line, and northbound is clear up to the toll plaza in Delaware. All the lanes are open. 83, no problems in from Hunt Valley. 70 is clear from Marriottsville Road to the split at Route 29, and 795 looks okay below the metro station at Owings Mills Boulevard. We just had a check overhead. One of the airplanes saying that both the tunnels are clear, with the Fort McHenry tunnel the busier of the two. All the lanes are open. Key Bridge traffic traffic is light on the main span. If you're Beltway bound, no problems on the northeast or the northwest side. Moderate traffic now down the west side below Frederick Road building to the Anne Arundel County line. Trip to the Capitol Beltway, no problems. 95 looks good at the Prince George's County line. Don, Marty, good morning. Back to you.
Hey, Chuck, couple things. Hey, for a man who's getting married Saturday, you sound very calm indeed.
Yes. Yeah, I am calm, as a matter of fact.
Even though you're signing away half of your fortune.
No.
The Whitaker wealth. Yeah.
That's what I'll be doing Saturday.
So yeah, you'll be all right then. Yeah, you're getting rid of you're giving away the traffic part of the traffic team. Well, what a deal. All right, hey, listen.
So far, it hasn't hurt, though.
Chuck, good. Say those 3 words you haven't said this morning yet.
This is CBS.
Not bad, not bad.
I'll do the 3 notes. Dun, dun, dun. Hey, listen. First off, thanks for joining us.
Yep.
Second off, it's a new year. Hopefully it's going to be a happy, prosperous, and healthy one for all of us.
You're coming back over a week and a half vacation. It's nice to have you back, of course.
Thirdly,
nice to be back here.
Welcome back, Don.
And wow, new year, new network. What else can you say?
Some things, though, don't change. 5:30 tomorrow morning, we will be here with Rise and Shine. Or whenever you get up, that's why we're here for 90 minutes. The CBS Morning News with Paul Zahn and Harry Smith is next. Give them a try. We think you'll like them. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
News with Al Sanders, tonight at 6.
Did the gunman do it? Why did it end up in Virginia? The latest details are just ahead. It is Monday, January 2nd, 1995.
Welcome to CBS This Morning. We will devote much of our broadcast to eyewitnesses, activists, religious leaders, the people whose lives were touched by tragedy, and the lessons we can all learn. It's straight ahead on CBS This Morning.
All the intimate details of a first date. And now, here's
both sides of the abortion debate.
We also want to take a minute right now to say good morning to a couple of brand new members of the CBS This Morning family, WJZ-TV in Boston and WJZ-TV in Baltimore. Good morning, folks.
And welcome to our family. Right now, though.
With a quick look.